Hey, earlier this week, we looked at some moments from an interview that Cheryl Atkinson did on Full Measure with Donald Trump. There are a couple of other moments I want to look at with you because they are so bizarre and wacky. At a certain point during the interview, Cheryl asked Trump about vaccines, and she framed it as, there's lots of concerns about vaccines. There are people who believe they were approved too quickly, whatever. Trump is trying to thread the needle here where he wants credit and he takes credit for getting the vaccines delivered and produced quickly and approved. But he seems to recognize he can't brag about it, and he doesn't brag about it because so many of his followers hate the vaccines. It's Trump acknowledging that he lost control of the monster he created.
Do you think that maybe they were approved too fast? And in hindsight, based on what we know now, what would you have done differently?
Well, I think they're doing studies on the vaccines, and we're going to find out, and it'll come out one way or the other. But I really had a mandate to get vaccines done, and I got them done very quickly in record time. The Democrats love it. The Democrats love it, and
All right, the Democrats love the vaccine. Okay.
Republicans don't. It's very interesting.
The Republicans don't.
The vaccines, they love it. I have a friend of mine who said to me, why don't you talk about the vaccine, what you did with the vaccine? He's a Democrat, but I'm sure he voted for me. He said, what you did was the most incredible thing that any president has ever done. You've saved hundreds of millions of lives all over the world. And this was just recently, very smart guy. He said, I don't understand why you don't talk about it. And I don't talk about it. But if you go to Pfizer, if you go to some of these companies, they have charts and they have all sorts of statistics. And
they have charts.
I say, why don't you release those statistics? Let people know. But I don't talk about it. I can say this, the Democrats would love to claim it. The Republicans don't want to claim it.
So Trump is acknowledging here, I don't talk about it because my followers don't like it. In fact, there were rallies back in, I guess it must have been the 2022 midterm cycle where Trump would go out to campaign for the people he was supporting. And he would talk about the vaccines and the crowd would boo. So Trump does not talk about the vaccines anymore. Notice that in his entire 2024 campaign, he's not talking about vaccines at any rally. And this was, according to him, one of his greatest accomplishments. This is a reminder of two different things. Number one, yes, as I said, the monster Trump created, he's lost control of. In fact, when we talk about they tried to kill Trump, they being former Trump voters, former Republicans, etc., it seems as though they went beyond where Trump even is politically. And that's what has upset them about Trump. So that's number one, lost control of the monster he created. Secondly, it's a reminder that Trump doesn't stand for anything objective. He doesn't have any real values. He was pro-choice his whole life. All of a sudden, he's running as a Republican. He's got to come up with a story about being against abortion. So he came up with one. Trump's not been religious his whole life, but all of a sudden he's running as a Republican. So now the Bible is his second favorite book alongside his own book. And he's deeply spiritual and blah, 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 blah. You get the whole thing. He stands for nothing. And similarly with the vaccines, if his audience likes it, he's going to talk about the vaccines and insist that they're great. But all of a sudden, if it's disadvantageous to him to be talking about vaccines, it doesn't matter if he, quote, really believes the vaccines are good. He's kind of hemming and hawing about it. He says, well, the studies are going to come out. It's being looked at. If his audience doesn't like the vaccines, he'll never mention the vaccines again, even if he had believed that it was actually a good thing. He stands for nothing. He's completely and totally hollow. From the same interview, one more clip, the topic of these mass deportations and migrant camps came up. Here's what Trump had to say.
You've talked about a mass deportation program. How is that practically possible? Because a lot of the millions of people have had children here who are American citizens. And don't you think the first time there is an image on television of a family tearfully being told to board a bus, that whole program would end?
That's right. If you take a young woman with two beautiful children and you put her on a bus and it ends up on the front page of every newspaper. It makes it a lot harder.
So yes to mass deportation, even of women and
So
children.
we're going to
and
look
so
at it
on.
very closely. The way you phrase it is exactly right. You put one wrong person onto a bus or onto an airplane, and your radical left lunatics will try and make it sound like the worst thing that's ever happened.
Notice what's missing from Trump's explanation. Listen, she's asking a good question, which is, are you going to mass round up, put in camps, and then deport in a militarized way women and children? And Trump doesn't say, you know what? We're not going to do that because we've decided and we know that the women and children pose no threat. Or no, he doesn't say, if you're here illegally, you've got to go. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a child. He doesn't stand on principle. He says, no, yeah, I mean, they're gonna get after us if we deport the wrong person, or if the images of women and children being manhandled by the military as part of the deportation, if that gets on TV, it would be bad and Democrats will complain. It's all merely a political calculation. On the other hand, we are able to make much more definitive claims. Hey, you know what? If you came here when you were not legally an adult, illegally because your parents brought you, and we're going to say, hey, we're going to deport you back to your country, especially when if you were 2, this is your country. What are you going to do if you get sent back to Mexico after being here from age 2 to 19? I mean, it's crazy. We say it is morally wrong to do that. It is contradictory to the values and principles of the United States. We're not going to do it. We're not calculating how will the media see it. What will Republicans say? No, it's just not the right thing to do. That analysis is missing from Trump because it's merely about what can I get away with? What will look good? What will get me votes? What will get me positive attention? There's nothing there. He is a completely hollow man.